Hi everyone, welcome to the intermediate Pilates class online. I'm Allison for anyone who doesn't know me, and just with regards to the online one, anyone who's here, we just ask that you keep keep your camera and your audio off, just so that it's easier for everyone else to hear the recording afterwards and for everyone live as well. And just if you do have any aches or pains or any issues during the class, obviously we can't supervise you, we can't see you, just stop that exercise and then move on to the next one. And any feedback or anything is welcome afterwards, just give us an email or a call or whatever. And other than that, we'll get started and hope you all enjoy it. So we'll start sitting up tall. So imagine that there's a wall behind you. You'll get nice and tall, eye line forward, hands resting on the shins. Take a breath in. Breathe out, then tuck in your chin. Start to roll down one bone at a time. Let your hands slide down your legs. Take a big deep breath in here to hold. And then breathe out, come all the way back up, nice and tall, bring the shoulders back and down, head and neck in line, and eye line forward. Take a breath in. And then breathe out, tuck in your chin, roll down, hands slide down the legs. As you take a breath in, imagine the air going into the back of the side of your lungs. And then breathe out, stack up again, nice and tall, shoulders back and down, head and neck in line. Just one more. Breathe in. Breathe out, tuck in your chin, roll down, hands slide down your shins, a big deep breath in, and then come all the way up, nice and tall, shoulders back and down, head and neck in line. From here, roll down onto your back, let your head rest onto the towel, and then bend the knees in a little bit more so you're nice and comfortable. Just tilt the pelvis back and forth into your neutral. Take a breath in. Breathe out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core muscles. Breathe in, hold it there. And then breathe out, go into your imprint. Again, pressing the lower back into the mat. Breathe in, hold it there. Breathe out, release to neutral. Breathe in. Breathe out, press your lower back into your imprint. I'm just moving my hand out of the way to show you. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, release. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out, go into your imprint. Breathe in, hold it there. And breathe out, release back to neutral. Take a breath in. And out again, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. We're going to drop one leg to the side and then straighten it along the mat. Keep the other knee pointing up to the ceiling. Breathe in, turn the foot in, bend up, swap sides. Breathe out, drop the leg to the side and straighten it. Breathe in, turn the foot in, bend up. Keep swapping sides. Drop and straighten, turn in, bend up. Make sure everything else stays nice and still. It's just the leg that's moving is the only thing moving. One more each side. Breathe out. Drop the knee to the side and straighten. Breathe in, turn in, bend up. Last one. Breathe out. Drop, straighten, breathe in, turn in, and bend up. Slide the towel out from under your head, so make sure there's nothing under your head. Hands down by your sides. Take a breath in. Breathe out again. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. You're going to roll through your imprint and heel the lower back up one bone at a time, squeezing the glutes. Breathe in, hold it there. And then breathe out. Come back down one bone at a time. You're going to go through your imprint all the way back to the start. Breathe in. Breathe out and roll through your imprint. Peel up one bone at a time, squeezing the glute muscles. Breathe in, hold it there. And then breathe out, come back down one bone at a time through your imprint all the way back to the start. Breathe in. Breathe out, peel all the way up. This time we're going to hold it up. Keep the glutes switched on, keep the bum muscles squeezed. Reach the hands to the ceiling. Breathe in. Breathe out, bring one hand overhead, one down by your side. Breathe in, back to the center. Swap sides. Breathe out and reach. Breathe in and back. As you do the mat, make sure that you're keeping the hips up in the air, don't let them drop. And you're also not going to let the ribs poke up into the air either. So breathe out and reach. Breathe in, back to the center. Breathe out and reach. Breathe in and back. One more. Breathe out and reach. Breathe in, back to the center. This time, breathe out, reach two hands overhead, and then circle them all the way down around to your sides. Breathe in, bring your fingertips up to the ceiling. Breathe out, circle the arms overhead, all the way down around to the sides. Keep going with that. Breathe in, hands up. Breathe out and circle around. Again, we're really looking to keep the hips up in the air. Don't let them drop. And you're going to keep the ribs down as well. Don't let them poke forward. Just one more. Breathe in, hands up. Breathe out overhead, all the way down around to your hips. And then breathe in, hold. Breathe out, come back down, one bone at a time. Let the hips come back down onto the mat through your imprint back to your neutral. Slide the towel back under your head. Reach the fingertips up to the ceiling. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Reach the fingertips up to the ceiling. Breathe in. Just squeeze the shoulder blades together behind your back. Keep the elbows straight. Breathe out. Reach the fingertips to the ceiling. Breathe in. Squeeze the shoulder blades together behind your back. Breathe out and reach. Breathe in and squeeze. Breathe out and reach. Breathe in and squeeze. Out, reach, in, squeeze. Out and reach, in, squeeze. Last one, reach, and then squeeze. And then relax the shoulders, let the hands come down by your sides, palms facing down into the mat. Breathe in, bring the shoulders all the way up towards your ears. Breathe out, slide your hands down to your feet. Breathe in, bring your shoulders to your ears. Breathe out, hands to your feet. All the way up to your ears, then down to your feet. Shoulders to ears, hands to feet. Last one, all the way up, and then all the way down towards your feet. And then just relax in the middle of those two movements. Just check your head position and look for your neutral. So make sure you're not poking your chin up into the ceiling. Be nice and level. Then we're going to do our head nod. So take a breath in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Tuck in your chin to lengthen the back of your neck. Breathe in. Hold it there. Breathe out. Release. Breathe in. And out. Tuck in your chin. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Release. And again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Tuck in. Breathe in, hold it there, and breathe out, release back to neutral, relax everything down. We'll lift the head and shoulders up this time, breathe in, breathe out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core, tuck in your chin, curl up to lift your knees, keep the tummy flat, breathe in, hold it there, breathe out, lower back down, but keep the chin tucked in the whole way down. Breathe in, and out, tuck in your chin and curl up, breathe in, hold, breathe out, lower back down. And again, breathe in, breathe out, tuck in and curl up. This time we're going to hold it here. Breathe in, breathe out, reach both hands overhead, keeping the chin tucked in, eye line to your knees. Breathe in, hands down by your sides. Breathe out, reach the hands overhead. Breathe in, lower. Keep the chin tucked in. Reach and lower. Two more. Reach. Breathe in, lower, last one, breathe out and reach. Breathe in, lower back down. Keep the chin tucked in, relax the head back down. Tilt your pelvis back and forth, breathe in. Breathe out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core, go into your imprint, bring the ribs and the hips down, make sure your back is pressing into the mat. And then lift one leg to tabletop, and then the second leg. Take a breath in. Breathe out, tuck in your chin, curl up to look at your knees. You're going to pull to their hands. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want, as you breathe out, you can straighten out the legs to make it a little bit harder. And then as you breathe in, you can bend the knees again. Or alternatively, you can keep the legs stretched out. Whichever you prefer, whichever you feel you're more able for. So remember, it's breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, pulsing the arms, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, last one, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep the chin tucked in, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, bring the legs back to tabletop, lower your head and neck down, lower one leg, and then the second leg down, tilt your pelvis again, breathe in, and breathe out, go into your imprint, lift one leg to tabletop, and then the second leg, Tuck in your chin, curl up to look at your knees, pop both hands behind your head. Take a breath in. Breathe out, bring one shoulder across to the opposite hip, in, back to the center. Swap sides, breathe out, across, in, back, across, and back, across, and back. Make sure your shoulders is coming across, and you're breathing out as you rotate, in, back to the center. Out, across, in, back. Two more, across, and back. Last one, across, and back. Lower the head and neck down, keep the legs in tabletop. Take the left hand, pop onto the right knee, right hand onto the shin of the right leg. Breathe in, breathe out, tuck in your chin, curl up to look at your knees, stretch out the opposite leg. Breathe in, come back to the center, pop your hands onto the left leg. Breathe out, stretch, and in, back to the center and switch. Stretch, and switch. So you're keeping your chin tucked in, eye line at the knees, and you're just stretching out alternate legs. Keep your lower back pressed into the mat. You can speed it up a little bit if you like. So go stretch, switch, quick little breath. Stretch, switch, stretch, switch. Two more. Last one. And then lower the head and neck down. Lower one leg down and the second leg down. Tilt your pelvis again to neutral. Breathe in. Breathe out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core, go into your imprint, lift one leg to tabletop, and then the second leg. Put both hands on the outsides of either knee. Breathe in, and breathe out, tuck in your chin, curl up to look at your knees. Take a breath in, breathe out, stretch out the legs, reach your arms overhead, breathe in, back to the center, and again. Stretch as you breathe out, in, back to the center, breathe out and reach, breathe in, back, reach, and back. Keep the lower back pressed into the mat. If you're getting any pain in your lower back, just don't stretch the legs out quite as far. Any pain in the back of your head, just pop one arm behind to give it a bit of support. One more, stretch, and back. Lower the head and neck down, and then just hug your knees into your chest, and rock gently from side to side to loosen up the lower back a little bit. And then lower one leg down, and lower the second leg down. Take a breath in. Breathe out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Lift one leg to tabletop, straighten the other leg out on the mat. If you feel you don't have too much tightness in your hamstrings or your lower back, you can straighten out that leg. If you find that uncomfortable, just keep it bent on tabletop. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, start to half a circle with the leg that's in the air. Breathe in, do the rest of the circle. So breathe out for half a circle and in for half a circle. If your knee is bent, imagine that there's a laser coming up, pointing up to the ceiling from your knee, and you're drawing a little circle on the ceiling with your knee. Rest of your body should be nice and controlled. And then lower that leg back down. Straighten out that leg, bring the other leg to tabletop, and same again. Straighten it out if you want to, or keep it bent. Breathe out for half the circle. Breathe in for half. Breathe out for half. And in for half. Out for half. In for half. Keeping the rest of the body nice and controlled. Imagine you're drawing that circle up onto the ceiling. Last one. And then relax that leg back down. Bend both the knees up. Slide the towel out from under your head. Take a breath in. Breathe out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Squeeze glutes, lift the hips up into the air. We're going to hold it here. Breathe in. Breathe out, lift one leg to tabletop. Breathe in, lower, soft sides. Lift and lower. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in, lower. Keep going with that. And remember, the main thing is you're really working hard to keep the glutes switched on, to keep the hips up in the air. And you're just going to lift the leg as high as you can without letting the hips drop. Lift, lower. This time without lift, breathe in, hold that leg in the air. Breathe out, straighten out that leg. Breathe in, bend it back to tabletop. Breathe out and straighten it. Breathe in and bend. Breathe out, straighten. Breathe in, bend. Straighten and bend. Straighten bend. Last one, straighten, bend, lower that leg back down. And we're going to do the other leg. So breathe out, lift it up to tabletop. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, straighten, in, bend. Really working the glutes to keep the hips up in the air. Breathe out, straighten, in, bend. Straighten, bend. Two more, breathe out. And in, last one, breathe out. And in, lower the leg back down, lower the hips back down. Take a breath in again. Breathe out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips up. This time reach your hands to the ceiling as well. Breathe in. And out with one leg to tabletop. Breathe in, hold it there. Breathe out, straighten out the leg, reach the arms overhead. Breathe in, back to the center. Breathe out and straighten, in, back to the center. Straighten, and back again. Really working that leg on the ground to keep the hips up in the air. Straighten, back, the last one. And then relax that leg down, keep the hips up. Breathe in, and out with the other leg to tabletop. Breathe in, hold it, and out, reach, in, back to the center. Reach, and back. Keep the hips up, keep the ribs down, don't let them poke up into the air. Reach, and back. Reach, back, last one. Reach, back, lower the leg back down, hips back down, and the hands back down. Tilt your pelvis into neutral again. Next, we're going to do our rollover. So if anyone has any difficulties with this, just do the first part of it, which I'll demonstrate first. Or if you want to do the full thing, I'll demonstrate that second. Okay? So again, make sure there's nothing under your head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Go into your imprint. Lift one leg to tabletop, and then the second leg, and then you're going to cross the heels over each other. Hands down by your sides. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, gently bring the knees towards your head, just lifting up the lower back. Breathe in, lower back down. Breathe out, rock up the lower back. Breathe in, lower. Lift, lower. So that's the first part. If you want to just keep going with that, that's fine. If you want to do the full thing, legs to tabletop and then straighten them out in the diagonal. Breathe in, point the toes up to the ceiling. Breathe out, lift up the lower back, rolling all the way overhead. Breathe in, hold it there. And then breathe out, come all the way back down, one bone at a time, till your legs are on the diagonal. Move down a little to the right, so breathe in, toes to the ceiling. Breathe out, roll all the way over. Breathe in, hold it there, you can sink into it a little bit more. And then breathe out, come all the way down, one bone at a time, until you're really controlling it the whole way till the legs are on the diagonal. Again, any pain, stop and go back to the more simple version. Breathe in, toes to the ceiling. Out, roll all the way over. Breathe in, hold it. You can try and sink into it a little bit more. And then breathe out, all the way back to the start. Legs on the diagonal. One more. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, hold it there. And then breathe out, all the way back down. One bone at a time. Legs on the diagonal. And then bend the knees. Hug the knees into the chest. And just rock gently from side to side. Just gently loosen up the lower back. And then lower one leg down. And lower the second leg down. Pop the towel back under your head. Gently tilt your pelvis back and forth. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Go into your imprint. Lift one leg to tabletop, and then the second leg. And you're going to reach the hands overhead, but keep the ribs down. Don't let them poke up. Breathe in. Reach your fingers up towards the ceiling. Breathe out. Tuck in your chin. Curl all the way up, balancing just behind your sit bones. Breathe in. Reach the hands up. And then breathe out, control it the whole way back down, hands are overhead. If you can, come the whole way up. Breathe in, reach the hands up. Breathe out, curl up just as far as you're comfortable. Breathe in, start to come back, and then out, come the whole way down. So just come up as far as you're comfortable. The full thing again is breathe in, hands to the ceiling. Breathe out, tuck in, curl all the way up. Breathe in, reach the hands to the ceiling. And then breathe out, come all the way back down, controlling it the whole way. Breathe in, hands to the ceiling. Breathe out, come all the way up, so just behind the sit bones. Breathe in and reach. Breathe out, control it the whole way down. One more. Breathe in, hands up. Out, curl up. In, reach. And out, all the way back down. Bring the hands down by your side. Lower one leg, and then lower the second leg down. Just tilt your pelvis back and forth. Into your neutral, let the knees fall out to the right side. Reach the hand out to the left, and look towards the left. Get a nice stretch in the lower back. Just hold it here for a couple of seconds. And then come back to the center. Let the knees fall to the left. Reach your hand to the right. And then again, hold it here, feel a nice stretch in the lower back. And then just come back to the center. Knees pointing up to the ceiling. Straighten out the legs. Head resting onto the towel. Again, make sure your ribs are down. Don't let the ribs poke up into the air. So the difference in that is the ribs poked up, ribs down. So if you have a look there, really try and keep them down. Especially as you reach your hands overhead, the ribs will tend to poke up, but you want to keep them down. Reach both hands overhead. Breathe in. And out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Breathe in, reach the hands up towards the ceiling. Breathe out, tuck in the chin, you're going to curl all the way up into sitting, reaching the hands towards your feet. Breathe out, breathe in, start to roll back. And then breathe out, come all the way down, nice and control to the hands overhead. If you can, come the whole way up. Breathe in, reach the hands up. Breathe out, curl up as far as you can. Then grab onto one leg and pull yourself up. And then reach the rest of the way. Breathe in, start to roll back. And breathe out, control it the whole way down till your hands are overhead. Whichever you prefer. So breathe in, hands up. Breathe out, curl up as far as you can. Grab onto the leg if you need to. And reach. Breathe in, start to roll back. And then breathe out, control it the whole way down. Breathe in, hands to the ceiling. Breathe out, tuck in, curl all the way up. Breathe in, start to roll back. And out, all the way down. Last one, we're going to come up sitting and stay in sitting. So breathe in, hands up. Breathe out, curl all the way up into sitting. And then come up nice and tall and bend the knees. Reaching the hands out in front, take a breath in. And breathe out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Breathe in. And out, tuck in your chin, reach forward. Breathe in, roll back. Breathe out, curl forward, in, back. Curl forwards and back. Reach and back. One more. And then just come back to the center. Breathe in. Breathe out, roll back. I'm going to open to one side. Breathe in, come back up tall. Swap sides. Roll and open. Breathe in, back up tall. Roll and open, back up tall. Roll and open, back up tall. As you're doing it, make sure that your feet don't lift up off the ground. They should stay nice and flat. If they're lifted up, just don't let yourself roll back quite as far. Last one, roll and open, back up tall. Relax the hands down by your sides. Or bring the hands down behind you for support. Bend the knees. And we're going to lift the hips up. So breathe in. Breathe out. Pull up with the pelvic floor in your deep core. Squeeze the glutes. Lift the hips up. Breathe in. Hold it there. Breathe out. Lower back down. Breathe in. And out. Squeeze the glutes. Lift up. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Lower. Breathe in. And out. Squeeze and lift. Breathe in. Hold. Out, lower. Last one, we're going to hold it up. Breathe in. And I squeeze and lift, hold it here. If you want to try and straighten out one leg at a time while keeping the hips up in the air. If you find that too hard, just hold it without lifting the legs. Really main thing is to keep the glutes switched on, keep the hips as high as you can. One more. And then relax the hips back down. Sitting up nice and tall and next. So you can go legs straight, bent or cross-legged, whichever you prefer. Main thing is you're up nice and tall, hands reaching out to the side. I'm going to keep the arms in a straight line throughout this exercise. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Rotate to one side for 3. So breathe in, come back to the center. Keep your arms in a straight line. Soft side. Back to the center. Breathe out for 3. Breathe in, come back. With each little breath, each little pulse, feel you're trying to get a little bit further into the rotation. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Back to the center. Pulse, pulse, pulse. And back. Just 2 more. Breathe in, last one. Breathe out. Back to the center. Relax the hands down. Just simply roll the shoulders to loosen them up a little bit. From here, roll the tail up a little bit more, so that it's more of a cylinder shape. Give it support under your head and lie down onto your side. Reach the hands out in front of you, bend the knees, make sure the hips, feet and knees are all directly on top of each other, and so are the hands. Breathe in and out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Breathe in, reach the top hand to the ceiling. Breathe out, roll back, start from the ribs, let the hand follow. You shouldn't feel strain in front of your shoulder. Breathe in, hold it there. And then breathe out, come all the way back to the start. Breathe in, reach the hand up to the ceiling. Breathe out, roll back. Take a breath in and hold it here. And breathe out, come all the way back to the start. Breathe in, hand up. Breathe out, roll back. Breathe in, hold it there. And breathe out all the way back to the start. Last one. Breathe in, hand up. Breathe out, roll from the ribs. Get a nice stretch in your upper back. Breathe in, hold it there. And breathe out, come all the way back to the start. Pop the bottom hand under the towel, reaching up overhead. Top hand rests onto your hip. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Open up the top leg. Breathe in, close. Don't let the hips roll backwards. Breathe out and open. Breathe in, close. Open and close. This time, breathe out, open. Breathe in, straighten out the top leg. Keep the knees wide. Breathe in, bend the knee. Breathe out, bend the knee. Breathe in, close. So breathe out, open up the top leg. Breathe in, straighten out the knee, keep the knees wide. Breathe out, bend the knee again, keep the knees open. Breathe in, close. So open, straighten, bend, so feet together, close. Keep up with that as you're doing it. Make sure the hips are staying stacked. You're not letting them roll backwards. And keep the knee out as wide as you can while you're straightening the leg. So breathe out, open. Breathe in, straighten. Breathe out, bend. In, close. This time we're just going to open and hold it. So breathe out, open. Hold it there. Keep breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax back down. Straighten out the legs. Make sure you're in a nice straight line with your body. So make sure the legs aren't angled in front or behind you or anything. You're not arching in your back. Should be nice and flat until you're neutral. And pop your hand onto your hip or else in front for balance. Breathe in. And out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Breathe in, point and lift the top leg. Breathe out, flatten the foot, lower. Point and lift, flatten, lower. Point and lift, flatten, lower. Point and lift, flatten, lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Again, as you're doing it, make sure to feel it into the glute. Don't let the leg kick in front of you. Point and lift, flatten and lower. This time point and lift, hold it there, we're going to do our circles. Breathing out for half a circle and in for half. As you're doing it, keep the ribs down, don't let them poke forward. If you need your top hand in front of you for balance, that's fine. Make sure some of the circle is behind the hip as well as in front of it. You should really feel it kicking into the glutes. You'll feel a bit of a pinchy feeling. Change direction, out for half and in for half. Nice and slow and controlled. Don't let the hips wobble. Last one. And then relax the leg back down. Make sure they're fully stacked on top of each other. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core again. Breathe in, point and lift. Breathe out, meet it with the bottom leg. Flatten the feet and lower them back down together. Breathe in, point and lift. Breathe out, meet it with the bottom leg. Flatten the feet, lower. Point and lift. Meet it, flatten, lower. Breathe in, point and lift. Out, meet it, flatten, lower. One more. Point and lift. Meet it, flatten, lower. Now we're going to do the two together. Breathe in to hold. And now lift the two legs up together. Breathe in and lower. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in, lower. Lift and lower. Lift, lower. Two more. Lift, lower. Last one. Lift and lower. Pop the top hand onto the hip. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. This time we're going to lift up the legs and the upper body, reaching the hands towards the feet. Breathe in and lower. Breathe out. Lift up the legs and the upper body. Breathe in, lower. Lift and lower. Lift, lower. Last one. Breathe out. Lift up. Breathe in, lower, back down. Then the top leg out of the way so the bottom leg's free to move. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Lift up the bottom leg. Breathe in and lower. Breathe out. Lift. Breathe in. Lower. Lift and lower. Keep going with that. You feel it working on the inside of the thigh. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in. Lower. Last one. We're going to lift and pulse it there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax back down. Bring the legs back on top of each other, and then come up onto your elbow. We'll do a side plank, so you can do this either from your feet or from your knees. If you go from the knees, you should be bent a little bit from your feet, legs should be straight. Make sure the elbow is directly into the shoulder, whichever way you're doing it. Hand onto the top hand onto the hip. Breathe in. Breathe out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core, lift the hips up, hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax back down. And again, lift up, keep breathing, 10, 9, 8, as you're holding it, make sure that you're not lifting the hips up too high or you're not letting them drop, should be in a nice straight line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back down. Just one more, breathe in. And breathe out. Lift up if you want to lift up the top leg as well. Do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the leg back down. Relax the hips back down. Come up onto your hands. We're just going to straighten out the elbow first. Then bend the knees. Bend the top leg up towards the ceiling and pop the top heel in front of the bottom ankle. Okay, so this is your starting position with the top hand resting onto the knee. Then I find this one too confusing, too difficult. Just go back and do a couple more of the side planks. If not, we'll go with the side bends. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. You're going to lift the hips up, reach the hand overhead. And then breathe in, come all the way back down. Breathe out and reach. Breathe in and lower. If you want to come the whole way up onto your feet, then do. Reach and lower. Breathe out and reach. Breathe in, lower. One more. Reach. And then come all the way back down. Well done. Swing the legs around. Bring the towel down to the other end of the mat. We'll do the other side. So again, starting with the towel roll up. into more of a similar shape, give you a little bit of support under your head. And then we're going to start with knees bent, hands stacked on top of each other, hips, feet, knees all stacked on top of each other too. Breathe in, and out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Breathe in, reach the hand to the ceiling. Breathe out, roll back. Start with the bridge, just let the hand follow. Breathe in, hold it there. And breathe out, all the way back to the start. Breathe in. Breathe out and roll. Breathe in, hold it there. And then breathe out, come all the way back to the start. Breathe in, hand to the ceiling. Breathe out, roll back. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, all the way back to the start. Last one. Breathe in, hand up. Breathe out and roll. Breathe in, hold it there. And breathe out, all the way back to the start. Pop the bottom hand under the towel, reach it up overhead. Top hand onto the hip. Breathe in. Breathe out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Open up the top leg. Breathe in and close. Breathe out, open. Breathe in, close. This time, breathe out and open. Breathe in, straighten out the top leg, keeping the knees wide. Breathe out, bend the knee again. Breathe in and close. So breathe out, open. Breathe in, straighten out the top leg, keep the knee wide. Breathe out, bend the knee, in, close. Breathe out, open. In, straighten, out, bend, in, close, out, open, in, straighten, out, bend, in, close. This time we're just going to open and hold it there for 10, 9, 8, don't let the hips roll back, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax back down, straighten out the legs. Keep the ribs down, don't let them poke forward. Top hand onto your hip or else in front for balance. Breathe in. And out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Breathe in, point and lift. And out, flatten the foot, lower. Point and lift, flatten and lower. Point and lift, flatten, lower. Lift, flatten, lower. As you do it, make sure that you're not letting the leg go out in front. We bring a little bit behind the hip to really feel it work in the glutes. Point and lift, flatten, lower. This time, point and lift, hold it there in your circles. Breathing out for half a circle and in for half. So again, it should be nice and slow and controlled. Shouldn't be any movement in your back. You shouldn't be poking your ribs forward or anything. If you feel that you are, just make the circle slightly smaller. You should really feel it working in the glutes and the bum muscles. And really try and get some of that circle behind the hip as well. Just change direction for a few. Breathing out for half the circle, in for the other half. Out for half, in for half. 2 more. Last one. And then relax back down. Breathe in. Point and lift the top leg. Breathe out and meet it with the bottom leg. Flatten both feet. Lower back down. Point and lift. Meet it. Flatten. And lower. Point and lift, meet it, flatten, lower. Point and lift, meet it, flatten, lower. Point and lift, meet it, flatten, lower. And again, lift, meet it, flatten, and lower. Breathe in, hold it there. Breathe out, lift the 2 legs up together. Breathe in and lower back down. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in, lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 1 more. Lift and lower. Then pop the top hand onto the hip. Breathe in. And then lift up the legs and the upper body. Reach the hand towards the feet. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in, lower. Lift, lower. 2 more. Lift, lower. Last one. Lift, and lower back down. Bend the top leg out of the way. Breathe in. And out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Lift up the bottom leg. Breathe in. Lower. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in. Lower. Lift and lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Last one. Breathe out. Lift and pulse it for 10, 9. Keep breathing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax back down. Stack the legs back on top of each other. Come up onto your elbow again to a side plank. Go from your feet to your knees, whichever you prefer. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Lift the hips up. Hold it for 10, 9, 8. Make sure you're in a straight line, not lifting both the hips up into the air. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back down. And again, breathe in. Breathe out, lift up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. Last one. Lift up, and if you want to lift up the top leg as well, do for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg back down. Relax the hips back down. Again, come up onto your arms, so straighten out your elbow. Bend the knees and bend the top leg up to the ceiling so that the bottom heel is in front of the, top heel is in front of the bottom ankle. Top hand rests onto the knee. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Squeeze the glutes, lift the hips up. Reach the hand overhead. Breathe in. Come back to the start. Breathe out. Lift and reach. Breathe in. Lower. Again, if you want to go from your feet as well, lift the whole legs up, lift and reach, and then lower, whichever you're more comfortable with. Lift and lower. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in, lower. Last one. Lift and lower back down. Well done. Roll onto your back and just do a couple of quick stretches. Lie onto your back, press head onto the towel, and just start by pulling one knee across the opposite shoulder. Make sure you get a nice stretch into the glutes. Make sure the legs come right across the body. And then pop your hands behind your knee, point the toes up to the ceiling. And just hold it there. And then lower back down. Pull the other knee across. Make sure it's going right across the body again to the shoulder. Feel a nice stretch in the glutes. And then pop your hand behind your knee, point the toes up to the ceiling. Get a nice stretch into the hamstrings. And then lower back down. From here, come up onto your hands and knees. So to start, make sure your knees are directly under your hips and your hands are directly under your shoulders. Head in neutral, so your eyelids just looking above where your fingertips are. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Tuck your tailbone out. Bring the waist down, ribs down, down between the shoulders. Lift the head and neck up to look in front. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring the tailbone in, the waist up, ribs up between the shoulders. Head and neck drop to look at your knees. Breathe in. And breathe out. Tailbone out, waist down, ribs down, down between the shoulders. Head and neck lifts up. Breathe in. And out, tailbone in, waist up, ribs up between the shoulders, head and neck drops. And again, breathe in. And out, tailbone out, waist down, ribs down, down between the shoulders, head and neck lift up. Last one, breathe in. And breathe out, tailbone in, waist up, ribs up between the shoulders, head and neck drops. From here, go back to your neutral. So again, neutral, your back should be nice and flat. So imagine if you had a glass of water balancing on it, you should be able to hold it there. Take a breath in. And breathe out. Keep one leg out behind you. Breathe in, lower. Swap sides. kick, lower, kick, lower. If you want, then add in reaching out the opposite arm at the same time, and lower. And again, reach, lower, reach, lower, reach, lower, reach, lower, reach, lower, reach, and back. Two more. Breathe out, and in. Last one, and back to the center. And from here, straighten out. We're going to come into the plank position. So straighten out one leg, and then the second leg. Okay, back should be nice and level, so make sure you're not dipping down, you're not poking the bone up in the air either. Should be nice and straight. Take a breath in. Breathe out, lift one leg up. Breathe in, lower. Swap sides. Lift and lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Two more. Lift, lower. Last one. And then relax the knees back down, flatten the feet. Sit right back onto your heels into a quick shell stretch. So hands stay stretched forward, and you're going to go down onto the heels as best you can. Walk the hands all the way forward. We're going to come down onto our tummy next. So make sure your forehead resting onto the towel. Hands by the level of your ears, out a little bit wider, so the shoulders are nice and relaxed. Feet relaxed onto the mat as well. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Try to keep your belly button off the mat as best you can. Breathe in. And out. Bring the shoulders back and down. Lift the head and chest up to look at the towel. Breathe in. Hold it there. And breathe out. Lower back down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Shoulders back and down. Lift the head and chest up. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out, lower back down. Breathe in, and out, shoulders back and down first, lift the head and chest up. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, and lower. This time we'll lift the hands up as well. Breathe in. Breathe out, shoulders back and down, head, chest, and hands lift up. Keep the bottom rib on the mat. Breathe in, hold it there, keep the chin tucked in. And breathe out, lower. Breathe in. And out, shoulders back and down, head, chest, and hands lift up. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lower. One more, breathe in. And out, shoulders back and down, lift up. Breathe in, hold it there. And breathe out, lower back down. Reach the hands overhead. Take a breath in. And again, breathe out, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Keep the belly button up off the mat. Breathe in, breathe out, lift both legs off the mat. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out, lift up. Breathe in, lower. As you do it, make sure it's the whole leg that's lifting up and that it's not just the lower part of the leg. So you shouldn't be just bending the knees like this. It should be the whole leg that's lifting up. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in, lower. This time keep the leg down and lift with the arm and the upper body. Breathe in. And out again, pull up with your pelvic floor and your deep core. Lift the head, chest, hands up off the mat. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in, lower. Chin stays tucked in. Breathe out, lift up. Breathe in, lower. Out and lift. In, lower. If you find that hard enough, just do either the arms or the legs. If you want to do them both together, then do. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift up the hands and the legs. Breathe in. Lower. Out and lift. Keep the core switched on. Breathe in. Lower. And lift. And lower. Again, keep going without you find it hard enough. If you want to do a full swimming exercise, we're going to lift up. So breathe out, lift. And then breathe in, you're going to pulse your hands and legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in for 5. And out for 5. And then lower the head, legs, and hands down. From here, bring your hands towards your shoulders, by your chest, and then you're going to push all the way up, straightening out the elbows into extension. Take a breath in, and then sigh out. One more, breathe in, and out. From here, then lift the hips up, sit right back onto your heels and do shadow stretch. And then walk the hands around to the side. Feel a stretch down one side. Take a couple of deep breaths here, keep the head relaxed down. And then come to the center and across to the other side. And then come back to the center. From here, walk your hands forward. We're going to do our push-ups to finish. So you can start getting towards the plank position. You can leave your knees down for the minute. Make sure your hands are under your shoulders, toes tucked in on you. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Pull up with the pelvic floor, the deep core. Then we're going to lift the knees up into the plank position. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Bend the elbows for 3 pulses. So breathe in, push up. 2 more, then breathe out for 3. And in, push up. Last one. Push all the way up. Then start to walk your hands towards you, lift hips up into the air. So the feet are flat on the ground. Come all the way up into standing, shoulders back and down. And again, take a breath in. Breathe out, tuck in your chin, roll down one bone at a time till your hands are on the ground. Bend the knees. Step forward with your hands into the plank position. Breathe in. And out for 3 as you bend the elbows. Breathe in, push up. And again. Push up, 1 more, bend, 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 push up, and then walk your hands towards you, let your hips go up, stack your bones on top one at a time, shoulders back and down. From here, step forward with one leg, come down into a lunge position, so 1 foot flat on the ground, the other foot knee bent in front, push forward at the hips, feel a stretch down front of the thigh, and then reach the, so I'm going to turn to face the camera, reach the leg that's on the ground, reach that hand up, and lean down to the opposite side. And then come back to the center, swap over, step forward, push through with the hips. And then again, whatever leg's on the ground, lift that hand up, and lean down to the opposite side. And then come back to the center. We finished there, okay? Well done everyone, hope you enjoyed it. Again, any feedback, let us know. And for next week's class, we might try and add in a little bit of a weight. So if you just have either a bottle full of water with you, or if you have like a small weighting ball or anything like that, that'll work too. If you have nothing, don't worry either. You can do all of the exercises without it, but just if you want to make it a little bit harder, we'll try and add in something just to change it up a little bit. Other than that, well done. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully see you all soon.